footage and records of objects in the skies, these unidentified aerial phenomenon, and he says we don't know exactly what they are. What do you think that it is?
I would ask him again. Thank you.
That question from the Fox guy, I mean, they would accept basically anything as an answer that's good for Trump on that network. President Obama, he's raising the point that they don't know, right? Because that is the you part of the unidentified flying object. We should have a curiosity, and not because that means that you have to believe in aliens. And I am open to whether or not, I don't know what's out there and what isn't. I'm someone who's decided to believe in a higher power that has intelligence and can affect our lives. So I'm open. But we should go on the facts. President Biden doesn't want to touch it. Why not? Because he doesn't have any good answer, and he's got bigger problems. Congress is now awaiting an intel report. Why? Because this is a real problem. The unidentified aerial phenomena matters because you have an increasing number of objects that are getting into areas where we don't want them. So is there any reckoning to this other than scratching our heads and asking these stupid questions? An expert offering his own ideas. Mick West is the author of Escaping the Rabbit Hole. Now, he says you got to look at these things through the prism of science and practicality. Welcome to Primetime. It's good to see you. The first one, let's do this episode by episode. The triangle video, okay? This was recorded by personnel aboard the USS Russell, July 2019, off the coast of California. The green, flashing, triangular-shaped object with a night vision device from a Navy ship. Nothing can fly in that shape and that way. What the hell is it? What is there an explanation that we have ignored?
Well, the first thing you notice about it is that it's flashing, and the way it flashes is very like a plane flashing. And the next thing you notice about the video is that there seem to be other triangles in the scene as well. There's a couple of triangles at the end that it flies past. But if you analyze the video, you can find that those triangles are actually stars, which means that there's something about the camera that's making these stars, which are normally little points of light, be triangle-shaped. So if that's happening to the stars, it's also happening to what's making the triangle. And if it's flashing like a plane, then the simplest explanation is that it is a plane. And some camera lenses actually have a triangular aperture, and some night vision binoculars have that same type of triangular aperture. And they, when you look at stars and when you look at planes through this type of night vision binocular, and it's a little bit out of focus, if you don't realize it's out of focus, then you are going to see exactly what you're seeing in this video. And we've managed to replicate this. We've replicated this exact thing with these flashing lights from a plane going by and these triangular stars. And I've analyzed the speed of the thing moving across the scene. It's exactly the same as the planes would be in that region at that altitude.
You call it the bokeh effect, B-O-K-E-H?
Yeah. Bokeh is just simply the shape that an out-of-focus light will take when it's out of focus. So you see it sometimes if you take a picture of a Christmas tree, the Christmas tree lights will look like little round circles. But when you use a triangular lens like this, a triangular aperture in your lens, like is in some of these night vision binoculars, they come out as little triangles, just like we see in the video. And
the military wouldn't be sophisticated enough to know about this potential issue?
Oh, I think that the military certainly is, but I think what's going on here is this, perhaps this UAP task force that is leaking these things out, perhaps doesn't have a lot of people on board, and somehow they've become convinced that this was maybe at some point unidentified. The thing is, we don't know any context about this video. We know very little about what the provenance of it is and what people are actually claiming about it, other than the people, the UFO promoters who've released it.
Here's another one, the flying saucer. The Navy name is Gimbal. The UFO encounter taken aboard a Navy fighter jet from the nuclear aircraft carrier USS Teddy Roosevelt off the eastern seaboard near the Florida coast. Again, sophisticated people, pilots seeing this thing, they don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense to them. They don't even get the rate of speed.
Sure, they don't know immediately what it is, but I think perhaps later there, when they analyze it, they would figure out what it is, because what we're seeing is infrared footage. We're looking at heat sources, and it's inverted, so hot things appear black. So I think what we're looking at is the the tail end of a jet plane, and that would appear as a big glare that would kind of obscure in the same way that this flashlight here, when I point it at the camera and turn it on, you get a big glare that obscures it. And when there's something in front of that glare, like the front window of the camera, and that rotates, then that changes the orientation of the glare. And that's where you get that it's rotating thing. It's just simply a glare that's rotating because part of the camera has to rotate. And the way the camera is mounted on the plane actually makes it so you actually have to rotate at a certain position, and it's the same position that we see in the video. So I don't think there's anything going on there beyond simply the glare of perhaps a distant plane or a drone.
But wouldn't a fighter pilot know that?
Well, it depends on how much experience they've had with this particular equipment and whether they've been in that exact same situation before and everything lining up right. We don't know really, again, we don't know any context. We don't know who the pilot was or what he thought afterwards, or we don't know anything that the military did to analyze this.
All right, let's do one more. Do you want to do the tic-tac or the go fast?
Let's do Go Fast, because I think Go Fast is the one that's very accessible to people. Go Fast is this one that looks
2015
like
UFO encounter taken aboard a Navy fighter jet from the nuclear aircraft carrier USS Teddy Roosevelt off the eastern seaboard near the Florida coast. And going so fast that they have never seen anything that has that kind of technology.
It looks like it's going fast, and that's the thing. It's kind of an illusion. It looks like it's going fast because of the parallax effect, but on the screen,
what
you
is
can
the
actually see the
parallax
numbers.
effect?
Parallax means that when you move one way and something's halfway between you and something else, it looks like it's moving relative to the other thing. Like when you're looking out of a train and you see things in a field, you look like you're kind of moving around them, that kind of effect. But what's happening here is that they think that it's down by the ocean, so it looks like it's moving really, really fast. But on screen, we can see all the numbers we need to figure out where it is. And all you need is 10th grade trigonometry. It's really, really, really simple. It's just like the sine of the angle multiplied by the range gives you the altitude. You can figure that out. It's not low. It's not fast. It's actually quite slow. It's actually moving something like 30 knots or 40 knots, which is about wind speed at that altitude. And it shows up cold in the infrared video, which means it's probably just something like a balloon.
Now, to be very clear, while you believe that science can explain, observation can explain, some misperception can explain these, are you open to the concerns of some of the military and intel people that there are things out there that they can't explain?
Absolutely, yes. And I think that's a very important thing that needs to be looked in a very serious manner. If the pilots are reporting things that they can't identify, then yes, we need to figure out what's going wrong there. Is it something new, or is it some failure of the system? Is it a failure of personnel or technology? Let's figure that out. But these videos are not evidence of something amazing. They can all be explained.
Mick West, I appreciate this. In fact, it's the perfect segment for me because I'm open. If the military, the intel, they got questions about things with potential technologies they don't understand, we do need to hear what this report says. I want to have you back when we get the assessments from them and see what squares with your understanding of having looked into these phenomena before. I appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Okay.